Hello, I'm Shashi Tharoor, and in my latest column for NDTV, I talk about how I've watched the unfolding events in Bangladesh with a mix of cautious optimism and profound respect for the democratic resilience of our neighboring country. They've had a general election, but they've seen a peaceful transition with the then Bangladesh National Party, BNP Nationalist Party, coming to power, and in many ways, liberal friends of mine, like the editor Mahfuz Anam, tell me that they feel this moment has truly saved their country. And I think we need to really engage with what they're saying and respect the arguments they have made. To my mind, in many ways, this election has seen a triumph of public will over authoritarianism, but it's also seen a rejection of regressive extremism, with the Jamaat-e-Islami being banished to the opposition. And this provides in many ways a unique opportunity for India to reset its relationship with Bangladesh, which has been troubled for a little while. I would say that in many ways, the concerns that many of us shared, for example, about violence against minorities, have been addressed by the newly elected Prime Minister, who immediately said he wants to offer a government for all Bangladeshis of every religious group. And he mentioned specifically it should be a safe haven for all faiths, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists and Christians, which is a very welcome message. He's got a 2/3 majority of 212 seats, and he has the mandate he needs to govern effectively in the name of the July National Charter. But at the same time, it's important that India extends a friendly helping hand and should not come across as a meddling neighbor, but rather as a supportive one. My argument here is that the voters, particularly women and youth, have rejected the extremist Islamist politics of the Jamaat, and we know that that would have troubled us if they had done better, because of course we all know they're very close to Pakistan, which is only too happy to fish in troubled waters. And as far as we are concerned, when the Prime Minister of India reached out to congratulate Prime Minister Rahman of Bangladesh on his victory and pledged to work with him, I think it was pragmatic diplomacy coming ahead of subcontinental politics, even with the Bengal and Assam elections around the corner. And we should really respect that spirit. I'm very keen to see that we are fair to Hasina, who's been a good friend of India. She certainly should not be sent by India back to Bangladesh to face certain execution. That would be terrible. But at the same time, we have to forge a practical relationship in the post-Hasina era with the BNP. They do understand the important strategic necessity and economic necessity of good relations with India. And therefore, we must ensure, it seems to me, that we actually work with them in a constructive way. The attitude of many Bangladeshi observers, this election has not just created a new transition, it has saved the country from the terminal decay of a one-party state and from the chaos of a power vacuum. It's produced a government with a clear mandate to reform, and a leader who's returned after 19 years of exile with an avowed vision of cleaner politics and a willingness to engage with India. We need to seize the moment, because a democratic Bangladesh is potentially our strongest ally, but if we mismanage the relationship with this intimate neighbor encased within our territory, it could become India's vulnerable soft underbelly, in the famous cliché. And so we must really set aside the prejudices and problems on both sides of the past and move forward in a positive way. As I wrote with the conclusion of my article, the rain is over. They used to call it the monsoon revolution. That's over now. The clouds are clearing. Now the hard work of rebuilding a nation begins, and India must be standing there right alongside as a friend, umbrella in hand in case it rains again, ready to cast our raincoat over the puddles so that our neighbor and friend can walk ahead afresh. Do read my column on ndtv.com.